where you place yourself in the things that you ask for. Instead of asking for 2 million, you'll ask for 400.
Yes.
Because you're undervaluing yourself.
Yes.
The mind believes what you tell it.
True.
So
I also find that people use some words carelessly. Like the people always say, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you're like, but how do you know?
When you don't try?
Yeah.
So those words come, you give those words life. If you keep
Give
doing,
them power.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So for you, like, what was your moment of like understanding, okay, you had held yourself back? Because if you're talking about reprogramming and you yourself had your own experience, like what, give us an example of what you yourself recognized and you were like, oh.
How I reprogrammed myself? I think I had expectations.
Okay.
I had expectations of people.
Of others.
Of others. Why? Because that is ideally what I would have done.
Okay.
For instance, if Christo, you said you were sick and you were my friend, and you are my close friend, I will call you, find a way to get to you, come to your house, see what I can do, how I can apply myself so that you're okay. Until you're okay, then I'll be gone. I realized that if
the other ones will send a message, how are you feeling now after 2 days?
Get well soon. So that used to piss me off. I felt like, so it means these people, I'm not that important to them. Yeah?
That was your interpretation?
Yes, that was my interpretation of this whole scenario. Until I understood that, you see, perception, it started with perception. While I'm thinking I'm too sick, the way I spoke to this person does not think it's serious.
Yes.
So their perception of my illness is what reproduced their action of, okay, I'll check on you tomorrow. It was me. It was me. Have you heard of people
It's
say...
like not asking for help, but you expect someone to know.
To know. It's obvious, because that's what I could have done.
But you didn't say it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I stopped assumptions. I think normally I catch myself. I cannot say I stopped assumptions. I assume a lot, but I catch myself.
Yes. You recognize it and you try to change.
I try to like, oh my God, no. This is not, you see. I also talk to myself a lot. I think people relate it with people who have gone nuts or something.
Oh, I talk to myself in the car. I've always explained I have serious conversations. So I'm like, if you see me driving and I'm like, no. I'm like, there's nobody else in the car.
Yes.
Important moments. I
talk to myself. I caution myself. I think for me, it helps me catch myself.
Okay.
I have a thing that for instance, when someone does something in my presence, I normally say something, oh, you didn't just do that. You know what I'm doing? I'm putting the brakes on my response to that person.
Yes. Okay. And then there's also still doing something, but then you catch yourself after, and then you try to rectify.
Yes, I always rectify. And I'm very fast with the rectification. If it's a mistake, I call and say, you know what? This didn't go okay according to me, but I'm sorry. We shall do better next time. Then I've also learned not to make promises.
Okay.
I do not promise.
Oh, really?
No.
At all?
I try, maybe with my children, but with adults, I try not to promise. I will not give a conclusive promise. It will be, if all goes well, let's hope it goes well. Let's pray for the best.
That's interesting. So when did you have your daughter? We talked about your daughter before we began.
9 years ago.
Were you still at the bank at that point?
No. I was still studying actually when I had her.
Oh, right.
I was still studying. I was so scared. Why? First of all, I was so tiny. I was like maybe size 8 tending to size 6.
Okay.
I was so tiny. And I remember I called my mom and told her I was expecting.
Was this the time when you were still trying to figure out what course
Yes,
to do?
yes.
Oh my.
No, I'd actually now started.
You had settled now in that
Yes,
counseling.
I'd started in my counseling course. But when I told her, first she was disappointed. She was like, how do you start, school and baby? It doesn't work.
Was there like a serious boyfriend in
Yes,
the picture
there
at
was
the time?
serious boyfriend. He took full responsibility. And then he was, my mom, I can't forget her response. She said, she called him and she said, I want his number. Called him and said, according to what you see, like my daughter being that tiny, that fragile, that small, my last born, my only girl, can't she carry her pregnancy at this time?
Okay, that's your mom's background in health. That's what that is. Okay.
I think she also panicked because she was not here. I think she was just maybe going back in time when she had my brother and she was so much younger, and probably what she went through or what she could have preferred.
Previously on Crystal One-on-One. The last time we met, we were actually both speaking at a function. Cynthia Impanga, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you
such
very
a
much
pleasure
for
to have
having
you.
me.
So we were talking just before the interview began, and you were saying that you've been into your office just about 4 times since we went into like a lockdown.
COVID, new normal, changes in the way we work has had some pros and some cons,
Okay. As someone in communications, I don't know if you've also felt this. This has pushed people to be much better with their communication.
So people who never wanted to be, I don't want to be on Facebook, I don't want to be on Twitter, I'm not anywhere, and you have no virtual presence, that's something that's going to be eroded, and by virtue of that, we all have to communicate more effectively.
I mean, what's your advice when you look at your journey? You've talked about living an authentic life.
It's so important for us to have networks. I think everybody needs to find their space in this world.
I have learned, let's say with my profession, I have to lay it down easy.
Yes, okay.
Yeah?
I was a bit worried about that.
I know.
I mean, you've come for counseling and someone is telling you, you've gone wrong here, there. I'm like, okay.
We use a different language. In counseling, for instance, I'll say, Crystal, it appears that.
Okay.
I think you feel that. So there is nothing that is conclusive. I'm not saying, Crystal, this is what you did. And because of that thing, this is what you get.
It's all your fault.
No. I'm so... I assume that I don't know. I'm like...
But also because you've had the training and you know how to communicate effectively.
I know how to... Communication is everything. Because I don't want someone to go away wounded more than they came.
Yes, of course.
I keep telling people that if you come to me for counseling, you've basically asked me out. Yeah? It's a marriage. It's not going to end like the Catholic faith. We don't divorce, nothing. So you come to me for counseling, I follow up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a journey. I walk with you. The people have come to me and said, I have no money, but I'm going through this and this and that. And I say, it's okay. I help you out. If you remember at a point where you get money,
Well and good.
please don't take it for granted. I'm not saying please come and just say you don't have money when you do have it.
Yes.
If you do have the money, please pay. Come, let's talk.
And
let's
if you
have a
can help,
conversation.
if you can help,
And
you're in a
then-
position to, you do.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yes, I talk to so many people a lot. And I think through talking to other people, when they come with their own issues, I also deal with my own issues. It's, for instance, my mantra is, I strive to impact and be impacted. Because as I talk to you, Crystal, I'm not saying I'm flawless, I don't make mistakes, I have no issues. I do have my own. But then while I talk to you, you could make me happier. You could I could relate with you on a different level of, oh my God, I've gone through that same exact thing. Yeah? And then I just speak from my experience. What did I do? How did I deal? I'm like, okay. So that's already something in common, you see.
Yeah.
So if I had demons in the past, maybe there's something I call emotional wounds. You never see them. They're not like a cut, a burn, or a bruise.
Yeah.
They're on the inside. So things like rejection, that's an emotional wound. Things like failure, it's an emotional wound. You see. So people go through life and they failed at this and at that and at that, and just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And they say, how come nothing I touch ever works out? It's an emotional wound.
Yes.
And to heal a wound, you need to stop touching it. So you keep trying till, yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that COVID. She said this a few times. People didn't really believe in counseling. Then COVID happened. What do you mean?
While COVID is, yes, unfortunately happened to us,
Yeah.
I think for me, the emotion has been gratitude.
Okay.
That I have felt. That has been a common question for me while I've been doing sessions for different organizations, for individuals. I would ask during COVID, what is the emotion that you feel most, that is predominant
And yours
in
is
this
gratitude.
time? Yes, and mine is gratitude. Why? I've never worked as much as I've worked in this time. The people, I remember the people I told you about, where I knocked on their doors and they say, oh, it's not in our budget.
Yeah. They're now making.
It is in their budget now. It is in their budget. But I think mostly why, for me, I was, I think, grateful for COVID, despite the impact, the negative impact.
Yes.
It has some positive impact. Mental health has been given, audience.
Yes.
People are more aware. People are more intentional on how they live, what they do, how they react, the relationships they choose to, to make and maintain. Yeah, so for me, I've worked most in this time. It has been fulfilling because I have gotten to know so many people. I've gotten to help so many people, and virtual counseling happened. I think for me, that is like the biggest achievement for us.
Yes, yes, yes.
Because before, if you were in Barara and you needed to see me, I would say, when are you coming to Kampala?
Yeah.
You see, people didn't think that we could sort out these issues over the phone or using any voice over the internet protocols, nothing. So people expected that as long as I've not seen you,
Nothing can happen.
nothing can happen. So virtual counseling happened. So now we price according to physical engagement and then virtual session.
It makes it a lot more flexible as
A lot more. So you can choose. So I've talked to people in Malawi, Nigeria, Tanzania. Makes everything possible now.
So if we were to find you on social media, if someone just needs to search for Grace Linda?
Grace Linda.
Grace Linda, okay.
Yes.
Across
Grace
the board.
Linda, that's it.
Okay.
You can't forget that.
Now speaking of mental health,
Yes.
World Mental Health Day was
10th
this month.
October, yes.
A few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago.
And I saw that the theme this time around was kindness.
Yes, kindness.
Which I love because I always feel like it really doesn't cost you anything to be kind. It's one
Yes.
of the things I'm trying with my children. Be kind.
Be kind.
Yes. So what is your understanding of the theme? Like how can it translate to everyone?
I think there is something I wrote on Facebook, and it was a poem, and the title was "I Look at You and Nothing."
Okay.
I look at you and nothing, and saying your friends are gone, your work, you don't have work, you're frail, you're what, it kept going on. But after that poem, I wrote it from a place of please don't judge, slow your roll on the judgment. And I said, everyone is going through something, everyone. I can never know what you're going through. I can never know what anyone is going through. So I am not in any place to judge them. So for me, kindness, Mental Health Day, the theme, it means whatever someone is going through, you can never know. So the best you can do is be kind, because you can't know anything else. What you see is not all there is. No. There is more to that person. And even the mistakes that you see, there is the good side of that person. So do not dwell so much on this. Look for the good side. Look, give them a benefit of the doubt. What if? What if that? And then also constantly putting yourself in their shoes. Because with counseling, people come to me and they say, oh, I wanted to do counseling, I wanted to do mental health. And I keep asking, what kind of counselor do you want to be?
Okay.
Because then that gives you, because counseling, unlike I think other fields, it has a lot to do with personality. If you're not a people person, if you can't be patient, if you don't have empathy, if you can't be confidential, that is the guiding principle, confidentiality for counseling. But above all else, you have to be kind. You have to be kind.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're wrapping up. We're out of time.
Having me.
Your last, I mean, how many years now would you say you've been practicing?
Since 2016.
2016. Okay. And people, their perception is changing. People are
Their
coming
perception
around.
has changed. And in fact, now people know that counseling is not really where you go because you're at the end of the rope. No.
Yes, like you're broken
No. They are realizing that there is also something I do call the mental health evaluation.
Okay.
You see, like how you go for a routine physical checkup, mental health evaluation. Yeah. So people I think have accepted. Some people have accepted. I'm hoping that with time, other people will also accept and not judge of mental health, mental illness, I think everyone has mental health. Up until the time you're not feeling okay or feeling like something is wrong, then probably you're going into a mental disorder.
Okay.
So we need to maintain that mental health.
Yes.
But when you say mental health, it's like, they are mental.
Exactly. So you've given like some advice, like, you know, don't judge, be kind. I think something you learned in your own journey is important. You need to talk. You need to get advice, speak up. So what other advice would you like to wrap up with?
Use the people that you have, the people in your village. Use them. Even if you don't talk to me, the counselor, probably you can't reach me, or probably you can't afford the services, or probably, I don't know. You have to have a support system. Use someone close to you. Your boss, your colleague, your friend, your sister, your mom, anyone. Before you reach the professionals, find someone to have a release. Find a release. Some people release in the gym. Some people go dancing. Some people shout on top of their voice. Some people sing. Find a release. It's very important. But above all, don't lose your voice. Speak up on the things that are important to you.
Okay. Yes. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me.